Climate change has been a debated topic throughout the world for many years, but as global temperatures begin to rise and we begin to see the effects of climate change, we are going to be forced to adapt or face extinction. Today I'd like to talk to you about how climate change has affected us in the past and present and how it may shape our future. Since most of you in here have probably grown up learning about climate change, I'd like to talk to you about something you may not have known about it. Me and my family got to experience the effects of climate change firsthand last year when we had to evacuate our house due to the California fires and feared we might lose everything. I'd like to talk to you about how climate change has impacted our lifestyles and environments in the past and present, and how it may shape our future. In the past, our Earth has been home to many different types of species, but a majority of those species have been wiped out by previous mass extinctions, which have been caused by high levels of atmospheric CO2. As the CO2 levels rose in the atmosphere, global temperatures rose and sea levels started to rise, making it difficult for life to survive on the planet. Most of the species got wiped out by the extinctions, but a few were able to evolve and adapt to the new environments and rebuild. Humans have just began to experience the effects of climate change as our CO2 levels start to rise in the atmosphere. According to an article from 2019 article from Prevention, our global temperatures have already risen by 2 degrees Fahrenheit since the start of the 20th century, causing our winters to be shorter and milder. Although this slight increase in temperature may seem like it would have little effect on us, one natural disaster, the Dust Bowl, has already been linked to this slight increase and has devastated thousands. Now that I've talked to you about climate change in the past, I'd like to talk to you about climate change in the present. As climate change intensifies, our environment will be forced to adapt, but that does not mean it will not be harmed. According to an article in Chatelaine, our climate change event that we are in right now appears to be man-made because the Earth should be in a cooling stage at this moment. And as it gets worse, more species will begin to go extinct as their habitat disappears and their food disappears. Some species that have already been affected by climate change are polar bears and coral. As polar bears' habitat disappears as the polar ice caps melt, and coral has a hard time surviving as the ocean warms up. Many people may believe that they have not been impacted by climate change as right now, but as climate change intensifies, natural disasters will get more severe and impact millions. One example of this is the California wildfires, which were caused by our summers being drier and warmer, making the fires more powerful and frequent. Another example is Hurricane Harvey, as it devastated millions and experienced much more flooding than previous hurricanes. Now that I've talked to you about our climate change in the present, I'd like to talk to you about how climate change may affect us in the future as it intensifies. As temperatures rise, more species will go extinct and have harder times finding habitats that suit them or find food to survive. Plants will also have a hard time dealing with the floods and droughts and getting food and water. According to an article from the Journal of Hydrometeorology, the Mississippi-Missouri River Basin will experience much more severe flooding in the coming years, devastating millions because it provides the U.S. with a high crop production. As droughts and floods become more frequent, over farming will become more common, meaning there will be more runoff, filling up rivers and devastating the habitat around them. And for humans will have to find ways to adapt to the environment by moving away from the equator to places that are more temperate and maybe more suitable for them. As humans will also be faced with starvation and disease as the climates get warmer, crops will be harder to grow, and disease and bacteria will be easier to spread. And humans may be able to find ways to adapt, but that does not mean the environment will suffer. Today I've talked to you about how climate change has affected our past, our present, and how it will eventually change our future. So I encourage you to go out and reduce your greenhouse gas emissions as much as possible so we can protect our